Hello everybody, Interi back again with another video. And today, people, I'm gonna talk about, is Roger Federer really the greatest grass court player of all time? Because I have get a request on my latest video I did about which Grand Slam is the hardest to win, and one subscriber asked me, is really Federer the greatest grass court player of all time when Novak Djokovic has beaten him twice in 2014 and 2015? And I want to talk about that topic. What that does mean, that Djokovic has beaten Roger Federer twice, so-called the greatest grass court player of all time, Roger Federer, in my opinion, and how does that make Roger Federer the greatest grass court player of all time when he has lost 2 times against Novak Djokovic? And Roger Federer has defeated Novak Djokovic only once on grass, and that was in 2012 Wimbledon semifinals. So I'm going to talk about this topic. Why Roger Federer is the greatest grass court player of all time, despite that Novak Djokovic has beaten Roger Federer twice in Wimbledon final 2014 and Wimbledon final 2015. Alright people, let's get this started. Look people, you cannot just judge a player only in 2 matches. You cannot just look at that way. Only because Novak Djokovic has defeated Roger Federer in Wimbledon 2014 and Wimbledon 2015 in the finals, that doesn't make Novak Djokovic greater than Federer on grass courts. Absolutely not. It's not that easy. You have to give me much harder questions than these, people. This is not a big challenge, really, because Roger Federer is a much greater grass court player than Novak Djokovic in total. Yes, he has lost those 2 finals, I know that, but that doesn't make Novak Djokovic by any means greater grass court player than Roger Federer. And I'm gonna give you my proof to you, people, and those proofs are coming now. We're just gonna look at Roger Federer's stats on grass, really. He has 11 Wimbledon finals, people. 11 Wimbledon finals. To compare that to Novak Djokovic, who has 5 Wimbledon finals. And Roger Federer has 8 titles. 8 titles. Of these 11 Wimbledon finals, he has won 8 of them. And he has lost only 3. He has lost 2 to Novak Djokovic in 2014 and 2015, like we talked earlier. And he has lost 1 against Rafael Nadal in 2008, that epic, great battle. So, and to compare that to Novak Djokovic, who has 4 Wimbledon titles and 5 Wimbledon finals overall. The only Wimbledon final that Novak Djokovic has lost was that 2013 Wimbledon final against Andy Murray. So this was one argument why Novak Djokovic can't impossible be a greater grass court player than Roger Federer. At least not now. Absolutely not. But what happens on the upcoming years, that we're gonna see. But for now, he is not even close to be in the same debate, to be in the same category as Roger Federer on the greatest grass court player of all time. And people, Novak Djokovic is not even greater than Pete Sampras on grass, really. Pete Sampras has 7 Wimbledon titles. 7, and he has played 7 Wimbledon finals, and he has won all of them. Talk about being clutch, really. And Novak Djokovic has 4, so he has 3 up to Pete Sampras to start with. Really. That was the first. And then we have Bjorn Borg. He has 6 Wimbledon finals and he has 5 Wimbledon titles. Even Bjorn Borg is greater than Novak Djokovic, let alone Roger Federer. And if we And if we speak all grass court tournaments that these three has played, we're gonna talk about these two mainly these two, because that's a topic. Why is Roger Federer greater than Novak Djokovic on grass when Novak Djokovic has beaten him twice at Wimbledon and Roger Federer only once? We're gonna talk about in general what these two guys have done on grass outside Wimbledon as well. Roger Federer has 25 grass court finals if we count that Olympic final in 2012 as well. 25 with that counting, without that 24. 25 people. That is hilarious. That is crazy. Of course, he has most grass court finals of all time than any other player. 25. Can you believe it? 25 people, 24 without that Olympic finals in 2012 against Andy Murray, which Roger Federer unfortunately lost. But 24 without that. And how many grass court finals does Novak Djokovic has in total? Only 9, people. Only 9. He has only 4 outside Wimbledon grass court finals. He has 2 in Queens, I think, which he lost against Rafael Nadal in 2008, and 1 against Tommy Haas in 2009. In 2008, he lost against Rafael Nadal in the final. In 2009, he lost against Tommy Haas in Halle. Then in 2018, he lost against Marin Cilic in Queens as well. And then he won a grass court title in Eastbourne in 2017. So these are the 4 finals that Novak Djokovic has outside Wimbledon, and he has lost 3 of them. He has lost 3 of them of these 4 finals that he has outside Wimbledon. 2 in Queens against Rafael Nadal in 2008 and against Marin Cilic in 2018. 1 in Halle he has lost in 2009 against Tommy Haas, and 1 he has won in 2017 Eastbourne final against Gael Monfils. So in total, Novak Djokovic has 9 grass court finals, people, and he has 5 grass court titles. 4 in Wimbledon and 1 outside Wimbledon, and that was in Eastbourne in 2017. A small grass court tournament, a 250 class tournament, I believe it is. And he won that 2017 Eastbourne final against Gael Monfils. To compare that with Roger Federer, 24 grass court finals. And he has in total 18 grass court titles. Of course, most of all players in the history of the game. 18 grass court titles Roger Federer has in total, people. 8 in Wimbledon, 9 in Halle, which makes it 17, and 1 he has in Stuttgart, which he won last year against Milos Raonic. So in total, Roger Federer has 18 grass court titles, and he has played 24 grass court finals overall. 25 if we count that Olympic final as well in 2012 against Andy Murray. Which finals has Roger Federer lost? I believe, if I'm not wrong, he has lost in 2010 against Leighton Hewitt in Halle, 2012 against Tommy Haas, 2012. Then he has lost in 2012 as well, that Olympic final, of course, if we count that as well, because that was played on grass. Then he lost against Coric. Yes, it was against Coric in 2018, last year in Halle as well. These are the 3 finals that he has lost outside Wimbledon. And if we count Wimbledon, we have 3 Wimbledon finals that Roger Federer has lost. 2 against Novak Djokovic in 2014 and 2015, and 1 against Rafa Nadal in that epic battle in 2008. So, all in all, Roger Federer has lost 7 grass court finals, if we count that Olympic 2012 final as well. 7 grass court finals he has lost, and he has won 18 grass court finals. In total, he has 25 grass court finals, people. To compare that with Novak Djokovic, only 9 grass court finals. So, how can Roger Federer be greater than Novak Djokovic as a grass court player? Do I really need to say more, people? No, of course I don't need to say more. These numbers are telling us all, people. They are telling us all who is the greatest grass court player of all time. Of course, it is Roger Federer. By the way, the closest that comes to Roger Federer as the greatest grass court player of all time, it is not even Novak Djokovic. It is Pete Sampras, people. Pete Sampras has 10 grass court titles. He is the second on that list of most grass court titles of all time. He has 10 grass court titles, 7 in Wimbledon and 3 outside Wimbledon. And he has in total 13 grass court finals. He has won 10 of those grass court finals and lost 3. So Pete Sampras is the second player of all greats on grass courts, people. It's not Novak Djokovic. Novak Djokovic is not even on the 3rd place, really. In my opinion, in the 3rd place is Björn Borg with 5 Wimbledon titles and 6 Wimbledon titles and 6 Wimbledon finals all in all. Then you can also put in Jimmy Connors there if you want to mention the greatest grass court players of all time, really, because Jimmy Connors, he has 17 grass court finals. If we count all of his grass court finals, he has 17. It's much more than what Novak Djokovic has achieved. Novak Djokovic has achieved 9 grass court finals. So he has 17, Jimmy Connors. But I don't want to put in Jimmy Connors there, because when Jimmy Connors played back on 70s and 80s, back then, US Open, Australian Open, there was, that time, those events was playing on grass. So you cannot put in Jimmy Connors really there, in my opinion, because Jimmy Connors had much more opportunities to play on grass, really. So that's why I don't put Jimmy Connors. It's not quite fair to put Jimmy Connors there, because 2 Grand Slams back then was played on grass. So, but definitely Pete Sampras and Björn Borg have achieved much more grass court titles than Novak Djokovic. But Novak Djokovic is still playing. So this doesn't mean that Novak Djokovic will not surpass them. I'm not saying that, but I'm talking about now. I'm talking about today. I'm talking about today's numbers, and today's numbers makes both Pete Sampras and Björn Borg a greater grass court player than Novak Djokovic. Let alone Roger Federer. Roger Federer is in his own league when it comes to grass court titles and grass court results. He is number 1, people. Everybody knows this. Only because Novak Djokovic has beaten Roger Federer in Wimbledon final 2014 and 2015, that doesn't make Novak Djokovic a greater grass court player than Roger Federer. Of course not. You cannot watch tennis this way, people. It is like making Dustin Brown a greater grass court player than Rafael Nadal. Dustin Brown he's 2-0 up against Rafael Nadal on grass. 2-0 to Dustin Brown. He has beaten Rafael Nadal both in 2014 and 2015. In 2014 he beat him in Halle, and in 2015 he beat Rafael Nadal in Wimbledon. Does this make Dustin Brown a greater grass court player than Rafael Nadal? Of course not. Dustin Brown is not a greater grass court player than Rafa Nadal. Of course not. Only because he has defeated the Spaniard 2 times on grass. The only 2 times they actually have faced each other. Rafa Nadal has never defeated Dustin Brown. He has never defeated the guy. And that doesn't mean that Dustin Brown is a greater player than Rafa Nadal. Of course he is not, people. We all know that Rafa Nadal is 20 times a greater player than Dustin Brown. So you cannot watch tennis just the head-to-head. You cannot watch it that way. It's the same with Davydenko. He has a plus statistic against Rafa Nadal as well. He leads 6-5. He leads 6-5 over the Spaniard. He has beaten the Spaniard one match more than the Spaniard has beaten Davydenko. The Russian leads 6-5. Tennis is much about matchups, people. Some players, they don't match up good against each other. But you cannot watch tennis only that way. It doesn't work like that. At least I don't operate like that. I don't watch only the matchup. Do you know when you can watch the matchup? I'm gonna tell you guys when you can watch the matchup. Yeah, when they have similar Grand Slam titles, when they are close to Grand Slam titles or Masters titles, or other great achievements, world number 1 weeks, world number 1 years, and things like that. Then you can watch the matchup and compare to each other. But it's ridiculous to watch the matchup again between Rafa Nadal and Dustin Brown. It is ridiculous, really, because Dustin Brown, what has he achieved in his life? Not much. At least not much compared to Rafa Nadal. But if you compare Dustin Brown to another player, say to amateur players who has never cracked the top 100, then yeah, he has achieved bigger than them. But to compare Dustin Brown to Rafa Nadal, but you know what I mean, people. I'm sure you are getting my point. So that was my arguments why Novak Djokovic is not even near to Roger Federer's grass court numbers and grass court results, despite that he has beaten Roger Federer in Wimbledon twice, 2014 and 2015. And Roger Federer has only defeated Novak Djokovic once in 2012 in that semi-final. That was my arguments. And one last argument. This is not really my biggest argument, but I have to mention this too, because I have to be fair. And you know me by now, people. I always give my honest, straight opinions. When Novak Djokovic has defeated Roger Federer in 2014 and 2015 in those Wimbledon finals, Roger Federer, people, has not been in his peak of his career, really. You cannot say that Roger Federer was in his peak of his career in 2014 and 2015. If I said that Roger Federer was in his peak career in 2014 and 2015, I would be lying, people. And I hate to lie. You know me, people. Roger Federer was good. He was good. I'm not saying he was bad. Absolutely not. Because if he wasn't good, he would not get himself to the finals. But he was not in his peak of his career. He was 32 years old in 2014, and he was 33 years old in 2015. So he was not in his peak of his career like he was in 2006 and 2007 and in 2008. Rafael Nadal's victory in 2008, in my opinion, it's much bigger achievement. He beat Roger Federer in 2008 final when Roger Federer was in his absolute peak, people. He was younger, he was better, he was faster. That I can buy. Rafa Nadal's victory in 2008 against Roger Federer in that Wimbledon epic battle is a greater achievement than Novak Djokovic's victories in 2014 Wimbledon final and 2015 Wimbledon final, because Roger Federer was older, people. He was slower, people. He was 32 years old and 33 years old in 2014 and 2015. But in 2008, people, he was 26, 27 years old. Something like that. He was younger, he was better, he was faster, he was fresher. That is also an argument, in my opinion. And Novak Djokovic was at his absolute peak in 2015, especially in 2015, because in my opinion, the 2015 season is probably Novak Djokovic's best season of his life. Yes, the 2011 season was great as well. Of course it was. But if you look at the results, Novak Djokovic was actually a little better in 2015 than 2011. Because in 2015, Novak Djokovic made 4 Grand Slam finals. That is the only year that Novak Djokovic has made all the 4 finals. He made the Australian Open final, which he won, of course. He made the French Open final, which he lost against Stan Wawrinka in the final. He made the Wimbledon final, which he won, of course. He defeated Roger Federer. And he made the US Open final as well. He defeated Roger Federer there as well. So he made all the 4 Grand Slam finals in that year in 2015. So he was in his peak of his career, people. And you cannot say the same about Roger Federer. So that is an argument as well, people. That proves that Novak Djokovic is not even near as good and as great grass court player as Roger Federer. Not only Novak Djokovic, nobody really. Roger Federer is in his own league when it comes to grass court tennis, when it comes to grass court results, when it comes to grass court numbers. At least by now. Then what happens in the future, we don't know. Maybe Novak Djokovic will surpass those numbers. I don't think so. I really don't think Novak Djokovic will surpass Roger Federer's numbers, but you can never be sure. For now, Roger Federer is the greatest grass court player of all time. On second on my list, it is Pete Sampras, and third, it is Bjorn Borg. Novak Djokovic is not even in my top 3 list yet. I have to put that word, yet. What happens in the future, I don't know. But for now, he's not even on my top 3rd list when it comes to the greatest grass court players of all time. Number 1, it is, without any doubts, Roger Federer. All right, people, that was my take on who is the greatest grass court player of all time. And it is, without any shadow of a doubt, Roger Federer. And the numbers are proving that. I hope you people enjoyed this video, and I hope you have a very nice day, and take care, and see you next time. Goodbye.